and a very warm welcome to a stress-releasing yoga class. The focus today is on the face, the neck and the shoulders, areas that can get tight when we feel under pressure or worried or upset. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. Sit on your heels if you can. You could also sit cross-legged. And yeah, just to ease out your shoulders a little bit, rolling them round, wiggling them around, and then see if you can really release down to sit on your heels, to feel grounded on your hips with a certain alertness in the upper body, so the spine is upright, shoulders are at ease, and your chin is lifted. Maybe close your eyes for a couple of breaths as you feel into the body. And simply notice how your face and neck and shoulders are feeling right now. Now just draw the chin towards the chest and slowly roll the head from side to side. Just half circle, so not a full circle, just slowly and mindfully from side to side. Neck doesn't like jerky, fast movements, so keep it slow and soft and smooth. And when your chin is in the middle next time, just lift the head up again and look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Look forwards again and tilt the head to one side and then to the other side. And just do that once more on each side. And then keep your head balanced as you link your hands in front of you. Turn the palms to stretch the fingers and then push up towards the ceiling, grow tall. Now take the left hand down to come into a side bend to the right. And then swing over to the other side. Come back to center. Link your hands again. Choose the non-habitual way this time. Turn your palms. Oops. And then stretch and grow tall. Take your right hand down, exhale to the right, and then over to the other side. And come back to center. So we are spacing the knees now. The toes are touching and we are preparing for lion's breath. But before we do that, we'll just feel into our wrists a little bit. So point the fingertips forward, place some weight on your wrists and gently sway from side to side. And then turn your fingertips sideways so the wrists are close together, and again gently swaying from side to side. Now point the fingertips back, if that's okay with your wrists, otherwise point them forwards again. Wrists are together and you sway a little bit from side to side. Lovely. So for lion's breath, we stay in this position. We are going to take a deep breath in and we're going to roar the breath out. So on the out breath, you open your eyes wide and you open your mouth wide and you stick the tongue out and make as much noise as you like to. So we're going to do 3 lion's breath. Breathing in. Ah. 2 more times. Ah. Last time. Ah. Now carefully roll onto your fingers. Stretch them out. And then shake them out. So time to stretch out the legs a little bit. Let's come into downward facing dog. Fingers nicely spread out on the floor. Lift up. To keep a bit of a bend in the knees to start with. Find strong arms so you can push back. Push your sitting bones up. Walk out 1 leg at a time. And then stay in downward facing dog. And you really want to keep your neck at ease here. 3 deep breaths. Keep it still, keep it strong. And then take your knees down and lower down to the floor. Legs are a hip width apart, tops of the feet gently pushing down. And then lift up into cobra without using your hands. And lower down. So it's just a little lift as you lift your collarbone. And you lower down. We'll do it 5 times all together. Last one. And then lower down, take the hands a bit wider. Come onto your fingertips and move the elbows so that they are pointing up towards the ceiling. Tops of the feet still on the floor. And now push up into a cobra lift like this. And lower down again. So we are going to do that 5 times. Keeping the hips on the floor. And for the last pose here on the front, draw your legs together. Take the hands behind you, link your hands and draw them away from the shoulders. And then lift up into locust pose. Lift the legs, the upper body and the arms. 3 steady breaths. Lower down, link your hands the other way. And lift up into locust 1 more time. Lengthen and lift. Steady breath. And then lower down and push up to come onto all fours. Knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. And just go through a few rounds of cat and cow. Dip your lower back in cow. And roll around your whole back, chin towards the chest for cat. So let's do a couple more rounds. And finish then in a neutral position. Keep your left hand on the floor. As you inhale, right hand goes up. As you exhale, thread the needle and move with your breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread the needle. One more time. This time we are going to stay and thread the needle, resting on the right arm, right shoulder, and push down with your left hand to come into a lovely twist. And then come back to center. Just reach up one more time. And take the right hand down underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, thread. And reach up and thread. One last time. Stay in, thread the needle. Push onto the left hand. The right hand. And come back to center. Just reach up one more time. And then take that left hand down and take both hands forwards to come into puppy pose. Lower the forehead and the upper body down. And then rise up. Come into downward facing dog. Just briefly, and walk your hands towards the feet to come into a half standing forward fold, so the legs are straight, the body is straight. And then as you exhale, soften down. And do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, soften. And one last time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, soften. And slowly, slowly roll up. And just turn sideways on your mat with the toes pointing forward. So a wide stance, but of course you should still feel stable. Legs are straight, core is engaged, hands on your hips. So just come into a half wide legged forward fold. Draw the navel towards the spine so that you can hold yourself in position. Link your hands behind you, draw them away from the ears. And fold down, now taking the hands up and over. Maybe bending the knees a little bit if it helps you. Move those sitting bones up towards the ceiling and keep drawing the shoulder blades together. And carefully rise up. Take your left hand into the middle now and come into a twist. Reach up with your other hand. And then twist the other way. You could elevate the hands as well on a block if it's difficult for the hands to come down to the floor. And come back to center. And rise up. Wonderful. Take your hands onto the hips, draw the navel towards the spine, and come down halfway again to link the hands the non-habitual way. Draw those shoulder blades together and fold down, just as we did before. Just ever so slight, subtle change in the pose when you link the hands the other way. One more deep breath. And then rise up to place your right hand into the middle, come into your twist. And twist the other way. And come back to center and just walk your hands around. to come into a lunge. Release your back foot and just rock backwards and forwards a few times. And simply draw that right foot back, take your left foot forward, low lunge, and just gently rocking backwards and forwards, stretching out the front leg a bit. And then draw that foot back and sit on your heels again. Our last pose in this sequence is going to be cow face pose. So I'm going to show you options. You can just keep sitting on your knees, on your heels, or you could come into cow face legs. If you have never done cow face before, you might like to sit on a block. So what you do in this position is you cross your left leg over your right in this case, and then you sit back down on your support. Now that is quite a strong stretch to the hips. Yeah, so if that doesn't suit you at all, then please come back to sitting on your heels. Now, as to the arms, we're going to stretch the arms out first. So we are going to reach up and you just fold your right elbow back, hand back, and you guide the elbow back. So you sit upright here, not hollowing the lower back, keeping the neck at ease, and just guiding that elbow back. And then release and swing your left hand behind you. You might just like to draw the elbow across a bit and draw that shoulder back a little bit. And then see if that hand falls behind your shoulder blades. Maybe it doesn't matter. So you want to have a good stretch in that shoulder here, and then reach up with your first hand, fold back, and maybe those fingers can now hook around each other. Maybe they just touch, maybe there is a gap. It doesn't matter. So in either case, really work on drawing that upper shoulder back and keep the neck at ease. So one more deep breath in cow face pose. Now you don't want to snap out of it, carefully release. Ease out a little bit, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So it is the right leg over the left. And I always find it easiest to lean forwards, to really stack the knees on top of each other, and then sit back on the floor or the support. I'm using a support here today as well. Both sides can feel quite different. So we are going to reach up and we're going to fold the left hand back this time. Drawing the elbow back while keeping the neck at ease, not jotting the head forward. That is what tends to happen here. And also not hollowing the lower back. And then swing that other arm behind you, guide that elbow across and fold your hand back. You'll notice one side will be considerably easier than the other. So for me personally, this is the easier side. Work on drawing that upper elbow back and keeping the neck at ease, whether your fingertips are hooked or not. One more deep breath. Lovely. And then gently release. untangle your legs. Just putting the support away. And just for a moment, take your legs in front of you, bending the knees a little bit, or you can keep them straight. Draw your navel towards the spine, and then just allow yourself to round over your front leg. So this is the yin version of the seated forward fold. You just want to allow the body to become soft here for a moment, the head to hang heavily, the breath to settle down. So don't try to achieve anything, just a bit of winding down time now. And then you carefully roll up and lift up. If you have the time, I recommend to add on 5 minutes of relaxation. I hope you enjoyed the practice, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.